like I entered the world like in a very kind of
Yeah, it was an interesting
apocalyptic framework, like through like the faith that I was brought into through my family, and thinking that the world was about to end, and not believing that I would grow to be an adult, and so just thinking like, well, this is it, and like, and then slowly, like as an adolescent, kind of questioning that framework and ultimately stepping away from that framework kind of put me in a position of not knowing how to navigate reality in like a functional way, because it was like the world that I had kind of, the framework that I had been brought into this world with, like no longer like supported me. So it was like a time of like needing to find a different framework, like, because unfortunately I think there might be some a few individuals that can navigate reality like without like illusions or frameworks of like engaging with reality, but if you want to go sit on a mountaintop, that's fine, but if you want to actually like interact with other people and like, you know, like have a job or like just navigate the world, like you need a way of seeing the world.
Yeah, I think like a lot of my work, I consider most of it to be experimental documentary, if anything, because it's like it's more about, it's continued to be observation, like, and maybe the methods of observation or the focus of the observation has changed in terms of like even some of like the macro kind of work that I've done with like carbon and different chemicals interacting with it. Like this is all like it's these are things that are unfolding all around us. It's like I like the idea of like not that to the idea of creating the conditions for something to happen, but like try to be as hands off as possible, and but use the camera as more of like a way to really shift kind of like a perspective away from what we would naturally observe something, like just from our natural kind of like our natural, what's the word, it's not distance, but like
Perspective or
not perspective, yeah, I think like using the medium, like the camera, to
kind of like my artistic practice as a means of like negotiating reality for myself, like, and it's like it's that first and foremost, in a way to connect to people, it through that, and kind of like, but it's about like, it is my framework for understanding the world, and that's not like specific to a medium. It's like more about just the process of exploring things in different ways and from different points of view, rather than kind of getting pigeonholed like into like a specific medium, which I find like it can tell a specific story, but it's like interesting to tell a story like from different perspectives and through different mediums, because each one is like tells the story in a different way, and things unfold in a different way through those things. So it's more about just and I think like I think the purpose of like making art for me is about like negotiating that reality for myself, and also trying to like be a reminder that it is a negotiation for all of us, like, and offering those kind of like shifts in perspective that can just be a gentle reminder of like of the world we live in, and how we frame that for our individual selves and as ourselves as a society, and like how that is not like a fixed thing, like it's something that's constantly shifting and constantly needs to be reevaluated and negotiated. So I think that's kind of the purpose of my practice, is to just be that like little gentle, or to try to be a gentle reminder of that, like, and yeah, it's a form of healing for myself, like, and hopefully a form of like kind of a means of other people to engage in their own like healing, because we're all like struggling through this. So it's nice to like be able to like use art as a means to like kind of connect to people through unconventional means, and kind of on more abstract terms that kind of transcend like the day-to-day ways that we interact, that sometimes kind of limit us from seeing each other, and try to using that to just be that reminder of like, oh yeah, like this is very complicated, and and something that's sometimes difficult to navigate and like and communicate our way through. But it's like art is that means to like continue to want to communicate and strive to communicate and see each other.